Special thanks to Patreon supporter Derek Frost Westbrook for making this video possible. Before we go ahead and jump into the tutorial, I want to go ahead and give a big shout out to this video's sponsor. Big shout out to the Coldest Water. These guys have made an amazing branded Coldest Water bottle. It is amazing. For those of you guys that don't know, I live in Tucson, Arizona. It gets extremely hot. In the past month, it's been starting to get up in there into the high 90s. I work on the outside a lot. I work in hot conditions and stuff like that, and this water bottle has kept my water cold the whole time. I've woken up with ice still in my water bottle after filling it the day before. It is phenomenal. I don't know what they do, whatever, but this thing works so good, and I wouldn't advertise a product if I wasn't actually fully confident in it. This water bottle was sent to me for free by them, which is really cool. They even went ahead and engraved it with my YouTube channel as well. But I'm actually probably going to end up picking up an even bigger one because I just love this product so much. Definitely recommend checking it out, guys. It's starting to get into summer. A lot of you guys might be looking for water bottles, going back to school. You know, nobody likes water that's hot. Everybody likes their water cool, and the Coldest water bottle does just that. It keeps your water cold for long periods of time, and the best thing about it is that it has a year-long warranty where if you buy it, you don't like it, you can return within a year and get your money back. But this thing is built to last. It's strong, durable. I've dropped it a couple times, and this thing has no signs of being torn up. Compared to Hydro Flask and all those other Yetis and stuff like that, this thing blows them out of the water in its insulation capabilities and also its durability, which my Hydro Flask I had before was dropped a couple times and had multiple dents and stuff like that, and this thing has held up just fine. Definitely recommend checking them out. Their product links are going to be down in the description. They do a weekly giveaway that you can enter, so you can try to get one of these bottles for free. And as well as if you do want to support the channel and you are interested in picking yourself up a Coldest Water, you can go ahead and use my affiliate link and use code GAR10 for 10% off your order. So definitely recommend checking out. It supports the channel, and you guys get a really cool water bottle and one that's going to last you a very long time. So definitely recommend checking them out. Again, a big thanks to Coldest Water for making this video, or sponsoring this video. And with that, let's go ahead and move on with the rest of the video. Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's Godzilla here bringing you another Minecraft World War II BAF to build tutorial. In this tutorial, we'll be going ahead and building the Italian cruiser RN Zara. Zara was a heavy-class cruiser built for the Italian Regia Maria Royal Navy. The lead ship of the Zara class, named after the Italian city of Zara, now Zadar, Croatia. The ship was built at the Ordero Terni Orlando shipyard, beginning with her keel laying in July 1928, launching in April 1930 and commissioning in October 1931. Armed with a main battery of 8 8-inch or 200mm guns, she was normally within the 10,000 long ton limit imposed by the Washington Naval Treaty, although in reality she significantly exceeded this figure. Zara saw extensive service during the first 2 years of Italy's participation in World War II, having taken part in several sorties to catch British convoys in the Mediterranean as the flagship of the 1st Division. She was present during the Battle of Calabria in July 1940, the Battle of Taranto in November 1940, and the Battle of Cape Matapan in March 1941. In the last engagement, Zara and her sister ships Fiume and Pola were sunk in a close-range night engagement with 3 British battleships. Most of her crew, 783 officers and sailors, including the divisional commander Admiral Carlo Cantano, were killed in the sinking. So yeah, the RN Zara here, a pretty nice-looking cruiser, and our second ever Italian World War II ship. So this ship here going right alongside here with the RN Roma. So nice to see a new cruiser, a new Italian ship added into our BAF to build fleet. And you know, I just love the color scheme really of the Italian ships with that green kind of hull, and then you have the kind of candy cane stripes on the front deck of the ship. So overall, really nice looking ship, and will make an awesome addition to in your BAF to build fleets, especially if you're looking for some more Italian type BAFTA builds. But before we go and take a look at the build, I want to go and give special thanks to Patreon supporter Derek Frost Westbrook for making this tutorial possible. If you guys are interested in supporting the channel more, you guys already do, feel free to check out my Patreon page. Link is always in my video descriptions, where you can go and pledge a small amount to the channel every month, and in doing so, earn a vehicle request you're choosing. Really helps support the work I do on my channel, and is obviously very greatly appreciated. So again, feel free to check that out if you are interested. Anyways, let's go ahead and move into taking a look here at the Zara. So beginning with, we have the front here of the ship. Very interesting type design here for the ship. It seems like they actually would park seaplanes on the front bow of the ship, and they would actually have a crane that would be able to pop up from the deck and actually lower the seaplanes into the water, presumably to actually, take off and perform seaplane aerial patrols. So kind of an interesting design feature there. We have our first two turrets located right here. Nothing too special about those. We get into our conning tower here, and the bridge and all that stuff. To the side, we have our secondary guns positioned on the side here of the ship. Lifeboats, all that stuff in your mid-deck, as well as a crane, all the rigging, the Italian flag there hanging. Second smokestack in the rear here. And then you come back a little bit further, have your various different instruments, spotlights, anti-aircraft gun positions. This aircraft, or this carrier here, or this ship, really does lack a defensive AA complement, so making it a very vulnerable target to AA, at least I would think. But yeah, pretty weak in terms of AA armaments. We have our turrets 3 and 4, and basically the start of the ship. So overall, pretty nice looking ship. I think gonna make an awesome addition to your fleets, especially sailing here next to Roma, which we tutorialed quite a while ago. Anyways, let's go ahead and move into the tutorial by beginning with our first layer number 1. Alright guys, going ahead and moving into our first layer here, we have layer number 1. For layer 1, to make sure that we go ahead and get this layer started, we want to make sure that we start this layer here, basically one block underneath the surface of the water. So you can see here the blue concrete representing the water surface, and you can see we have our slabs here that start basically one block underneath this section here. So pretty straightforward there, nothing too complicated. Just make sure it's positioned like this to go ahead and get started, because if not, it's not going to sit properly in the water. Anyways, once we get to this point here, we have that all sorted out. We're going to go ahead and start off by going ahead and grabbing dark prismarine slabs, and we're going to be placed down a long row of prismarine slabs all the way down the keel here of the ship, in total 32 blocks in length. On the very front here of it, we're going to go and place down a dark oak wood sign. One thing I want to mention is, if you're completely new to my BAFTA build tutorials, the way I like to structure these first few layers here for the tutorial is I like to do half on camera, half off. What this means is we're rebuilding half of the ship on camera, and then it'll be up to you guys to copy the other half over to the other side. It's pretty straightforward, and we're really going to do this for like the first 3 layers here until we can start getting to the complicated superstructure and all that. So yeah, just keep that in mind as we progress here. So anyways, once we get to this point here, we're going to go from the bow of the ship. We're going to count back our dark prismarine. We're going to go to our 9th block back, and we're going to place down a dark prismarine top slab coming off the side of that 9th block there. We're going to go then count back from this top slab here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19 blocks back. We're going to go and get our total count, and our total count here should be 20 blocks. After that's complete, go ahead and go into the front here again. We're going to count back to our 6th polished black stone slab here. We're going to place down a dark prismarine slab here. We're going to place down a block to the side here, and then go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So you have a total of 8 there along the side. Anyways, looking at it from above here, this is what we should have for our first layer with it all complete. And with that, you're going to take what you do on the right side, flip over to the left side, and it'll be pretty much good to go. Anyways, that right there is going to do it for layer number 1, and with that, let's go ahead and move into layer number 2. Alright guys, going ahead and moving into our next layer here, we'll be going ahead and moving into layer number 2. For layer 2, to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to go to the front polished black, or polished, or not even polished, dark prismarine slab. We're going to place down a green terracotta block on top of it, and we want to go ahead and then place down a total of 34 green concrete blocks, or green terracotta blocks. We're going to go and stick 2 past this dark prismarine slab right here, so it should look like this here on the back. And yeah, so row 34 in total. We're going to go then and place down 2 dark prismarine top slabs, 2 green terracotta blocks, and then a dark oak wood trapdoor there on the end. After that, moving back up to the front here, we're going to go to our 3rd green terracotta block. We're going to place down a green stained glass to the side, a 2nd glass pane back, 2 mossy cobblestone walls, and then a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25 green terracotta blocks back, and 2 mossy cobblestone walls. After those 2 mossy cobblestone walls, we're going to place down 2 end rods, and then a birchwood slab. We then want to go ahead and go to the green terracotta blocks here, and we're going to go ahead and make sure that we just have a row of 25 there. So just double check our count to make sure that's good to go. Anyways, once we get to this point here, on the sides of these mossy cobblestone walls, we're going to place down 2 dark oak signs on the sides there. And then going back up to the front here, we're going to go to our second green terracotta block, place down green stained glass to the side, 1 back, 2 mossy cobblestone walls, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 green terracotta blocks back, 3 mossy cobblestone walls, and 3 green stained glass panes back as well. After that's all done there, that is going to pretty much wrap up what we have there for layer number 2 for the build. And with that, we'll go ahead and move into our next layer, layer number 3. Alright guys, so going ahead and moving into our next layer, we moved into layer number 3. For layer 3 to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to place down a stone block on top of this green terracotta block here. And we want to go ahead and then go back from that stone block, a long row of stone that in total is going to be 25 blocks long in length. After we have that done, after our row of 25 here, we're going to place down a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 jungle planks back. And then we want to go ahead and then place down 1, 2, and 3 stone blocks back as well. After that, we're going to place down a light gray stained glass pane next to the stone block on the end here, 2 andesite walls. Then a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stone blocks. Then 1, 2, 3 jungle planks, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 stone blocks going forward, 2 andesite walls, 2 light gray stained glass panes, just like that. And after that, we then want to go ahead and grab our polished black stone buttons, place it down the side of this stone block here, on the side of this stone block, and then going back from it, we're going to place down 2 light gray stained glass panes, 1 and 2 andesite walls, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 stone blocks back, 1, 2, 3, 4 andesite slabs, or andesite walls, and then 1, 2, 3, and 4 light gray stained glass panes back, and then 1, 2, 3, and 4 polished black stone buttons there along the side. Also on the side of these stone blocks here, we're going to take our polished black stone buttons and just run along the side here of those stone blocks like that. And after you have that done on both sides there, that is going to complete layer number 3 for the build. Here's a bit of an overview of what it should look like so far. And from this point here, we're going to go and start moving into layer 4, and we're going to start getting into some of the superstructure stuff. So from layer 4 on, we're going to be going ahead and doing each layer all together. Anyways, let's go and move into layer number 4. I guess I'll go ahead and move into our next layer. We have layer 4. For layer 4 to start off with, we're going to place down a stone block on top of this stone block here, followed by an upside down stone stair coming off of it, and then a skeleton skull to both sides of that stair. After that, we're going to place down a stone top slab coming off this second stone block, or this stone block right here. And we then want to go ahead and place down a red wool block here, followed by a stone upside down stair to both sides. We're going to then place down a white wool block, and then another stone upside down corner stair here to both sides. We're going to go then place down a red wool block here, stone block on both sides, and a polished black stone button on both ends. A white wool block in the center here, stone block again to both sides here, and then again a polished black stone button to both sides. We're going to go then place down another red wool block, another stone block to both sides, this time with a skeleton skull on both ends. A white wool block in the center, stone block to both sides, skeleton skull coming off that stone block to both ends. We're going to then place down another red wool block here in the center, a stone block to both ends, and we're going to then place down a light gray stained glass pane to both ends. At this point here, we're going to go ahead and place down a row of 3 of stone blocks, followed by a second row of 3, a third row, a fourth, and a fifth. Along those 5 rows of 3, we're going to go and take light gray stained glass panes and just run them along the side here of the ship, like so. Once we get to this point, we're going to place down a row of 3 of stone blocks across, this time with a redstone repeater, with the notches spread apart to both sides like so. We're going to place down another row of 3 of stone blocks across, this time followed by an iron trapdoor to both ends. We're going to then place down another row of 3 of stone blocks across the center here, an andesite wall to both sides. And another row of 3 of stone blocks across, again with a iron trapdoor to both ends like so. We're going to place down another row of 3 of stone blocks across, followed by a block in the center here, and then a andesite wall to both sides. We're going to place down 2 stone blocks going down the center here, and 2 light gray stained glass panes to the sides of those walls. After that there, we're going to then place down a stone upside down stair like so, upside down corner stair coming off the sides here. And we then want to place down a stone block after that stair in the center, followed by an andesite wall to both sides like so. At this point here, we're going to go and then grab ourselves some dark oak wood fence gates, dark oak wood signs, stone brick stairs, wither skeleton skulls, and we're going to go ahead and make our secondary batteries along the side here. To begin with, we're going to place down a dark oak wood fence gate here on this block, open up toward the rear, a stone brick stair, and on the side of the stone brick stair, a dark oak wood sign, and on the back of it, a wither skeleton skull. We're going to go and then go back from the wither skeleton skull, dark oak wood fence gate, stone brick stair, slab on the side, and a wither skeleton skull on the back there. And we're going to go do the same thing over here as well for our secondary batteries. So just like this on this side. Like so. And then after that, we're going to then take our stone blocks. We're going to do a row of 3 of stone blocks across the center here. 2 stone blocks down the center, 2 andesite walls to the sides here. We're going to go then place down a row of 3 of stone blocks across, followed by a lever to both sides just like that. And also on top here, we're going to change the stone block between these 2 stone blocks here with a jungle plank as well. And those levers there were supposed to be for the next layer, but we'll just go ahead and keep them on anyway since I already told you guys to place them. We're going to place down there oak or another jungle plank, andesite wall again to both sides, stone block in the center here, followed by a light gray stained glass pane to both sides of the stone block. Then going back from the stone block here, we're going to place down an andesite wall. We're going to go then place down a polished andesite upside down stair, like so. A polished andesite full block coming off that upside down stair. To the sides of that stair, we want to go ahead and grab ourselves skeleton skulls, and we're going to place down a skeleton skull to both sides of this stair, like so. And then come off the stair, going toward the back, we're going to place down 2 dark oak wood fence gates, like so, going toward the rear. We then want to grab our quartz slabs. We're going to go ahead and go next to the 2 fence gates. We're going to place down quartz slabs here to both sides. And we then want to go ahead and grab a stone button, followed by a redstone repeater, a daylight detector, a jungle pressure plate, and we're also going to need an end rod and a iron bar. For this section here, we're going to place down a stone button on this plank here, a redstone repeater with the notches spread apart, a daylight detector, followed by a jungle pressure plate, end rod, and then 2 iron bars that go up from the end rod like that. We then want to take our pressure plates of jungle, and we're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then going up here to this section, we're going to place down 1 and 2 here, 1 and 2. And then lastly, we want to grab ourselves some stone pressure plates, and on these walls here, so these first 2 andesite walls here, we're going to place down the stone pressure plates, just like that. And once we have that all complete there, that's going to wrap up what we have there for layer number 4 for the build. Looking at from above here, you can see some of the shapes starting to take place and some of our superstructures starting to come together. Anyways, that right there is it for layer number 4. And with that, let's move into layer number 5. Alright guys, go ahead and move into our next layer here. We have layer number 5. For layer 5 to get started with here, we're going to place down an end rod on top of this stair here. And then going up from the stair, we're going to place down 2 iron bars up like so. We're going to go ahead and place down a redstone up here with the notches spread apart directly after that. We then want to place down a red carpet to both sides of this repeater here. We're going to go ahead and place down a wither skeleton skull to both sides like so. And we then want to go ahead and place down another red carpet to both sides like that. We're going to follow this up by placing down a redstone repeater to both sides here with the notches spread apart. Followed by a red carpet again to both sides here. We're going to go then place down a white carpet to both sides, red carpet, and then a white carpet again to both sides like that. After we have that done, we're going to go then take our rails. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4 rails going down the center, 4 blocks, and we're going to go then place down an acacia wood trapdoor here on the center red wool block. After this point here, to go ahead and make our turrets, or our first turret here, we're going to place down a dark oak wood fence gate here on top of this block here, fence gate directly behind it, all opened up toward the back here, a polished andesite block, polished andesite upside down stair, and a skeleton skull to both sides of that stair like so. After that, we then want to go ahead and place down a andesite wall, going back like this, followed by 1 and 2 stone blocks back. On both sides of the second stone block, we're going to place down a andesite wall like so. We also want to go ahead and grab ourselves an item frame. We're going to place down an item frame here on this stone block here with a polished andesite block in the item frame like so. Be the same thing there to both sides like that. Anyways, continuing on from this point, we're going to take our stone blocks. We're going to then go 1, 2 stone blocks back. And we want to go then place down a stone upside down stair like that, followed by a dark oak wood sign coming off the face there of the upside down stair. To the sides here, we're going to take our light gray stained glass. We're going to place down 1, 2, and 3. And same thing over here, 1, 2, and 3. We also want to grab gray carpet, and we're going to place down 2 light gray carpets, one on top of the redstone repeater and one on top of the iron trapdoor. Or actually, sorry, it's going to be one on top of the redstone repeater and one on top of this light gray stained glass pane. So just like that. After we get to this point, we're going to go and build another secondary gun. So this is going to be a stone brick stair on top of that andesite wall. To both sides, a dark oak wood fence gate coming off the front there of the stair. A dark oak wood sign on the side of the stairs. And we're going to then follow this up and place down a wither skeleton skull coming off the back of the stairs, just like that. After that's done, we're going to then place down a redstone comparator on these 2 stone blocks like so. After that, we're going to then place down a stone block here, followed by a second block back, and we want to go then grab our quartz slabs. And we're going to place down a row of 1, 2, 3 quartz slabs back, 1, 2, 3 quartz slabs back. Once we get to this point, we're going to place down a brown bed in the center here, and then a stone brick stair, just like that. After that's all done, we're going to then place down a birchwood stair on the sides of this brown bed. So just like that, and then a smooth quartz block behind it, and then another birchwood slab going back from those like so. And then we're going to place down a birchwood sign on the side of the smooth quartz block, just like that. After that's done, we're going to then place down a stone block here in the center, followed by a stone stair coming off of it, and then a lever coming off both sides of the stone block. We then want to place down a stone block coming off the stone stair. We're going to go then and grab our iron bars, and we're going to place down a row of 3 iron bars across, like so. And then after this, we're going to place down another stone block here in the center on this jungle plank, or jungle wood plank. And we're going to go then place down a polished andesite upside down stair, followed by a polished andesite full block. A row of 2 of dark oak wood fence gates coming off the polished andesite block opened up toward it, and then a skeleton skull on both sides of this polished andesite stair. After that's all complete there, that is going to basically wrap up what we have for that. And with that, that will complete what we have there for layer number 5 for the build. Taking a look at it from above, this is what it should look like. And from the side here, this is what we should have so far. Anyways, that's it for layer number 5. With that, let's move into layer number 6. Alright guys, going ahead and moving into our next layer here, we have layer number 6. For layer 6 to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to place down a polished andesite block on top of this wall here. And then come off it, we're going to place down 2 dark oak wood fence gates going forward like so. We're going to go then place down there polished andesite upside down stair. Skeletons go on both sides of the stair like that. After that, we're going to then place down an andesite wall here in the center. Then a row of 1 and 2 stone blocks down the center, and then a stone upside down stair here on the back. We then want to place down a dark oak wood sign coming off the side of the stair, followed by a corner stair to both sides like this, and we're going to go then take our dark oak wood signs and wrap around these stone stairs like that. After that, we're going to place down another stone upside down stair going forward on both sides here, and a dark oak wood sign like this on the stairs. We then want to go ahead and place down a end rod on top of these 2 glass panes there, and we're going to go then place down a skeleton skull on top of these andesite walls. After that's all done, we want to go and then place down a row of 2 of stone full blocks here, item frame to both sides, and we want to go and then place down a white bed in the item frames rotated facing forward, like so, with a dark oak wood sign on the side of those stone blocks. After that, we want to go and then go to the back here. I'm going to place down a stone block on top of this one here. Skeleton skull coming off that stone block. After that, we're going to go ahead and go to the side of the stone block, place down a stone upside down stair, followed by a dark oak wood fence gate on top of this stair here, and we're going to have this opened up toward the back like so. We then want to place down a stone block on top of this stone block here, a dark oak wood fence gate coming off of it. We're going to then grab ourselves a iron trapdoor. We're going to place down an iron trapdoor coming off the tops here of these end rods, or iron bars. We're going to place down an item frame on the sides of those trapdoors, and we're going to go and then place down a snowball in those item frames. We also want to place down an item frame here on the sides of these 2 stone blocks. A white bed in the item frame, rotated like this. And again, if you're on Java, we can place a dark oak wood sign on the side of the stone block. One thing to mention is if you're on Bedrock, you're not going to be able to put the sign and the item frame in the same block space. If that's the case, just go ahead and disregard the sign and just place down the item frame if it comes down to it like that. Anyways, going ahead and continuing on, we're going to then place down an iron bar here. Now for this iron bar here, we can go ahead and give ourselves a debug stick. And we'll use a debug stick here which will be able to change the properties here of this iron bar. So we can go and change the facing of the iron bar to face in all 4 directions. So therefore it kind of creates a look like this. And we're going to go ahead and leave it as that for right now. We're going to come back to that a little bit later. But yeah, it kind of creates a little bit more of a mask type look rather than just a single iron bar. Anyways, once we have that all done there, that is going to wrap up what we have here for layer number 6. And with that, we'll go ahead and move into layer number 7. Alright guys, moving into our next layer, we have layer 7. For layer 7, to go ahead and get started with here, we want to go ahead and start off by placing down a stone block. That's going to be on top of this stone block here. And we want a stone block, not polished andesite. And then we're going to place down an upside down stair here to both sides. After that's done, coming off the stone stairs here, we're going to place down a stone, a skeleton skull. And then in the very center here, we're going to place down a iron trapdoor. Coming off of it, that center stone block like so. We then also want to go and grab a polished andesite slab. We're going to place it on top of this wall here. Followed by a dark oak wood fence gate to both sides, and then a dark oak wood sign on the front here of that slab, like that. After that's done, we want to go then place down a stone block right here. And in the corners here, we're going to place down a andesite wall, just like that. We then want to take dark oak wood signs and wrap them around the walls and the stone blocks here, like this all the way around for the conning tower. After that, this section here, we're going to take our black concrete. We're going to do a row of 3 across, and we're going to take dark oak wood signs and wrap around the sides here, and this side on the back, or facing toward the rear as well. We then want to go and take our end rods here. We're going to place down an end rod on top of this skeleton skull here. We're going to then place down an end rod on top of this stone block, and then to the sides here, we're going to place down a stone brick slab to both sides of an end rod coming off the side of those stone brick slabs, like so. We then want to place down a dark oak wood fence gate coming off this end rod, opened up toward it. And on both sides of the fence gate, we're going to place down a skeleton skull, just like that. We also want to grab a polished black stone stair, and we're going to place a polished black stone stair on this stone block, like that. Followed by a narrow stone brick slab on top of this iron bar back here, and then an end rod coming off both sides of that stone brick slab, just like that. And once we have that all done, that's going to complete layer 7, and with that we're going to move into our final layers of the build, which will be basically doing the mass and doing all the rigging and stuff like that to go and finish it off. So with that, let's go ahead and move into our last final layers. Alright guys, go ahead and move into our final layers here. We have layers 8 through 15. For these layers, to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to go and go to the top here of the conning tower. We're going to place down a redstone repeater facing this direction, like so. And we then want to go and place down a dark oak wood fence gate here on top of the stone block, open it up toward the front. And then we're going to place down a fence gate here on this stone block and open it up toward the rear. Now once we get to this point, we're going to go and grab a iron trapdoor. We're going to place down an iron trapdoor on these 2 stone upside down stairs. A item frame on the sides of those, like that. And we want to go and then place down a snowball in those item frames, and then a dark oak wood sign here to the side of the slabs, like so. After that's done, we want to go and then place down a light gray shulker box on top of these 2 andesite walls. And on top of those shulker boxes there, we're going to place down skeleton skulls, like so. We're going to go and then place down a andesite wall. That's going to go on top of this fence gate here. And we're actually going to take this fence gate and we'll actually open it up toward the front, like so. And then this fence gate, coming off the top of it, or basically coming off the side of the wall, I should say, we're going to place down a skeleton skull, like so. And then also a skeleton skull coming off the front here of that andesite wall. Then to the sides of it, we're going to go ahead and grab our end rods. We're going to place down a row of 1 and 2 end rods to the side, 1 and 2, like that. Going ahead and going up to our next row up, we're going to place down a light gray shulker box on top here, skeleton skull to both sides, and on the very top of it we want to go and place down a redstone repeater with the notches spread apart like so. And then coming off this skeleton skull here, we're going to place down 1 and 2 end rods up from it, just like that. That's going to do it there for the front mast. Moving to the back here, we're going to go to this end rod here. We're going to place down an end rod up from it. We then want to go ahead and place down a block that comes off this end rod kind of going forward at an angle like so. And we're going to then place down a skeleton skull coming off that side of that stone block above the end rod. And then we're going to go ahead and delete that block. And then we're going to place a grindstone coming off that skeleton skull like so. After that, we want to go and then place down a chain coming off the grindstone going downwards like so. On top of our smokestack here, we're going to go ahead and also grab a polished blackstone slab, place down 1 here, an item frame, and then in that item frame we want to go ahead and place down an iron bar. So just like that in the item frame, like that for the smokestack, or I should say the funnel. We then want to go and place down a end rod on top of this one here. And we're going to then place down an andesite wall on top of it, followed by an end rod back from it. We're going to then go back from the end rod. We're going to place down a barrier block. And on that barrier block, we can put the Italian flag, which is just a banner with a horizontal red stripe across the top, white stripe through the center, and our green stripe across the bottom there. And we can just have it coming off that barrier block like that, kind of hanging there to the side. Anyways, after we have that all done, we then want to go ahead and basically start continuing our mast here. So we're going to go and go up from this wall right here, 1 and 2 end rods. We're going to go then place down a third, and then come off the sides of the third one, we're going to place down 2 end rods out to both sides. Or actually, sorry, it's only going to be 1 end rod out to both sides. And we also want to place down an end rod to both sides on the side here of this andesite wall as well. Then going up from this, we're going to place down another end rod up. And then on top of this end rod, we're going to take our iron bars, and we're going to place down a row of 2 of iron bars that go up. And on the sides of the first iron bar here, we're going to place down an end rod to both sides, just like that. And after that's all done, that's pretty much it for the base ship here. And we're going to go ahead and now move into the rigging. One thing also for this flag right here is we're also going to place down a skeleton skull on top of this barrier block, like so. But anyways, once we have that all settled, we can go ahead and start doing our rigging here for the ship. So to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to go to this end rod here, and we're going to go ahead and go back 1, 2, 3, and 4 barrier blocks back, and we want to go and then go 1, 2, 3 barrier blocks. We're going to go and then place down a stone button. So we'll go ahead and grab some stone buttons here, and we're going to place down a row of stone buttons on the side here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, and it's going to be the same thing over here, 1, 2, 3, go out to the side here, then 1, 2, 3, 4, like that, so it connects up, and then our stone buttons here along the sides, like that, to go ahead and make our rigging here. After we have that all done, we want to go and take our barrier blocks, and we're going to go then place down a row of 2, coming off this end rod here, then 2 stone buttons there on the side, or on both sides. We then want to go ahead and go up from the second barrier block, so this one here, we're going to go ahead and go up, and so you're going to go back 3, again, buttons here on the sides of those barrier blocks. After that, we're going to go ahead and then go up to our second one, go 1 up, and then go back 1, 2, 3, and 3 more, so you have a row of 4 here, and then buttons on the sides of that row of 4 as well. After that, we're going to then place down a barrier block on top of the third one, going up like this, stone button to both sides, and then 1 more barrier block going up, coming off this iron bar here, with a stone button to both sides, like so. After that's all complete there, we want to go and then place down a barrier block between the skeleton skull and the end rod right here, and we're going to have a button, stone button on both sides. We then want to go ahead and place down a barrier block, come off this one here, and then we're going to go ahead and drop down with the second one, stone buttons on the sides here, so stone buttons on both sides like that. After that, we want to go and then drop down to another row of 2, so we're going to go ahead and go back and down 2. We're going to place down a button on both sides of this block here, and then 1 here in the center. We're going to go and drop down from this button here, again 2 barrier blocks going down. Same thing we did before, 2 buttons on both sides of this first one, and then 1 come off the side here facing toward the back like that. And lastly, we're going to go and drop down another 2 barrier blocks down like this, and we can just place down a stone button here to both sides of this first one right there. And that's pretty much all we can do for that. And our last line here is to go ahead and make this line going down. And for this line going down, we want to go ahead and start off by going ahead and go into this barrier block here. So the second one, we're going to place down 2 more that go back. We're going to go then place down a stone button on top, and then a stone button on both sides of this barrier block. We're going to go then drop down to 1 barrier block down at an angle, stone buttons on both sides. We then want to drop down to a row of 2 of barrier blocks going back, stone button on top, and then 2 stone buttons on the sides. We're going to go and then drop down again with a row of 2. So 2 barrier blocks like this, stone button on both sides of, stone button on top of the first one, and then on both sides of the second block, like so. Drop it down again, another barrier block that goes down by 1, stone button on both sides, followed by a barrier block or 2 barrier blocks that go down and back, stone button on top, of the first one, bare stone buttons on both sides of the second one. Going ahead, continuing on, we're going to go and drop down again with a block of 1. So block of 1, then two buttons on both sides of it. We then want to go ahead and do a row of 2. So 1, 2. Button on top of the first one, buttons on the sides of the second one. And then our last barrier block right here, come off this iron bar. And we're going to place down a stone button on both sides of it, just like that. And after that's all complete there, that is going to wrap up the rigging, and with that, that is going to wrap up what we have there for layers 8 through 15 for the build. Anyways guys, that right there is going to complete my tutorial here for the RN Zara Zara-Class Heavy Cruiser. Hope you guys do enjoy this tutorial and are able to put it to good use. Again, a big special thanks to Patreon supporter Derek Frost Westbrook for making this tutorial possible, and as always, feel free to check my Patreon page. Link is always in my video descriptions. With that, however, if you guys do use this build, I do ask you guys to give me proper credit for this. Give me anything from the side of the build, tweet to my channel, or this video if this does appear in social media sites. As long as you guys give me proper credit, you're free for a project you guys are working on. Other than that, thank you guys again so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This has been here at 204, and I'll see you guys next time.